Good day, everyone. Welcome to the subject Communication, Social Marketing, and Mobilization. This is the discussion of Module 2, Communication Models. My name is Dave Gaurino. In this topic, I will discuss what communication models are and explain unilinear models such as Lasswell's communication model, Aristotle's communication model, and Berlo's SMCR model. Now, let's start with the report. First, let's define what is communication. Communication is the process through which people share information, ideas, emotions, and messages. What are models of communication? Models of communication, on the other hand, help simplify and explain how the communication process works. They provide a structured way to understand the different components and dynamics involved in sending and receiving messages. There are three generic models of communication: unilinear, transactional, and systems models. In this report, I will focus only on unilinear models. So, what are unilinear models? Unilinear models of communication describe the process as a one-way flow of information from a sender to a receiver. These models are straightforward, emphasizing the transmission of messages without considering feedback. They assume that communication starts with a sender, involves the transfer of a message through a channel, and ends with the receiver. There are key characteristics of unilinear models, which include: first, initiation. Communication begins with a sender who initiates the message. Second, transmission. The message is sent through a specific channel. Third, reception. The message is received by the audience without a feedback loop. That means the message is delivered to the audience, but there is no way for the sender to receive a response or know how the audience has interpreted the message. Unilinear models are often criticized for their simplicity, as they fail to capture the interactive feedback and continuous exchange of messages that occurs in real-life conversations. However, they provide a foundation for understanding basic communication processes. Our textbook listed 3 examples of unilinear communication models. Let's discuss these 3 examples, starting with number 1. Lasswell's communication model. Harold Lasswell introduced his communication model in 1948, focusing on the function of communication in society. His model is summarized by the formula who says what, in which channel, to whom, with what effect. These are the 5 elements of Lasswell's communication model. First, who, the sender or communicator. Second, says what, the content of the message. Third, in which channel, the medium through which the message is transmitted. Fourth, to whom, the target audience or receiver. Fifth, with what effect, the outcome or result of the message on the receiver. For example, a company released an engaging TV commercial showcasing the benefits of their new energy drink to attract young adults and boost sales. Who, the company, which is the advertiser in this example, is the sender. Says what? The benefits of their new energy drink, which represents the message being communicated. In which channel? The message is delivered through a TV commercial serving as the medium. To whom? The advertisement is targeted to young adults, who are the intended audience. With what effect? The goal is to attract customers and boost sales, which is the desired result of this communication. This model is particularly useful for analyzing mass communication, such as media broadcasts, advertisements, and public speeches. It highlights the importance of the message effect, which distinguishes it from other linear models. However, it has limitations, as it does not include feedback or consider potential barriers to communication. The second example is Aristotle's communication model. Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, developed one of the earliest models of communication around 300 BC. His model focuses on the role of the speaker in public speaking and persuasive communication. It consists of 5 primary components: speaker, speech, occasion, audience, and effect. Let me explain the 5 elements of Aristotle's communication model. First, speaker, the sender or individual delivering the message. Second, speech, the content or message being communicated. Third, occasion, the context, situation, or environment in which the communication takes place. Fourth, audience, the receiver or recipients of the message. Fifth, effect, the result, influence, or outcome that the message has on the audience. For example, Alexander gave a brave speech to his soldiers in the war field to defeat the Persian Empire. Speaker, Alexander, who is the leader in this example, is the sender. Speech, his message is about his invasion, motivating his soldiers. Occasion, the speech takes place on the war field, serving as the context. Audience, the message is directed at his soldiers, who are the intended receivers. Effect, the goal is to inspire them to fight bravely and defeat the Persian Empire, which is the desired result. Aristotle emphasized the speaker's ability to create messages that appeal to the audience's emotions, logic, and credibility. His model is unilinear, as it views communication as a one-way process from the speaker to the audience. Despite its simplicity, Aristotle's model remains relevant in public speaking, highlighting the significance of the speaker's influence on the audience. The third example of communication model is Berlo's SMCR communication model. David Berlo introduced the SMCR model in 1960, which stands for Source, Message, Channel, Receiver. This model expands on earlier linear models by detailing the factors that influence each component of communication. Let me explain the four components of Berlo's SMCR communication model. First, source. The sender or originator of the message, influenced by communication skills, attitudes, knowledge, social system, and culture. Second, message. The content being communicated, including elements, structure, code, and treatment. Third, channel. The medium used to transmit the message, including senses like sight, sound, touch, smell, or taste. Fourth, the recipient or person who receives and interprets the message, influenced by similar factors as the source. For example, a teacher delivered an informative PowerPoint presentation to her students in the classroom to explain the concept of photosynthesis. Source, the teacher, who is the sender in this example, delivers the message. Message, the content is about the concept of photosynthesis, aiming to educate the students. Channel, the message is presented through a PowerPoint presentation, serving as the medium. Receiver, the message is directed at the students, who are the intended recipients and interpreters of the information. Berlo's model emphasizes the importance of the source and receiver having similar communication skills, knowledge, and cultural backgrounds for effective communication. It also highlights the role of the senses in receiving messages. However, like other unilinear models, it has been criticized for lacking a feedback mechanism and not accounting for noise or barriers to communication. In conclusion, communication isn't just about talking or sending a message. It's about understanding how messages are created, transmitted, and received. Unilinear communication models, despite their simplicity, remain relevant in today's digital and media-driven world, as they effectively explain one-way information flows seen in television broadcasts, radio announcements, online advertisements, and public speeches. These models provide a foundational framework for analyzing how messages influence audiences, highlighting the importance of message structure and delivery even in the absence of immediate feedback. And for our discussion questions, I have two questions for you. First, do you think unilinear communication models, despite their limitations, are still relevant in today's digital and media-driven world? Why or why not? Provide examples to support your answer. Second, considering the strengths and limitations of Lasswell's, Aristotle's, and Berlo's unilinear communication models, which model do you think is the most effective for mass communication today, and why? I'm excited to read all your answers to these questions. That's the end of my report. Thank you for listening.